Well, hello, it's Simone. Guess what? If you remember my last fountain pen video, the currently inked from March 2022, I was wondering whether I should get the Cozy Comfort inks from Robert Oster Endless Pens and micahfinds. And I did. I went ahead and got them. So in this video today, I would like to swatch them on the three different mediums that I usually swatch them on, and we'll talk a little bit fountain pen talk while I do that. I usually get 4 swatches on one page, so we need to stop in between to let this dry. But I'm just going to show you the 6, how many inks did I actually purchase? The 6 inks and talk a little bit about them. I got those because, wow, this clip is not allowed to be filmed today. Let's try this one more time. When I got back into fountain pens, I also wanted to try using colored inks, but that just didn't really work out. And so in the fall of 2020, I decided I'd give it one last chance. I purchased a color palette that I really liked. It turned out to be very fall-like, which was perfect for the time. And I purchased just samples, not full ink bottles. And I really, really enjoyed them. And that's how I got back into using fountain pens and into this hobby. That is now my downfall. But when I saw these inks posted on the social media, this color palette totally reminded me of this one. And so I felt like that is perfect. That is totally me. This is all of those colors I love. They just evoke some kind of warm and fuzzy fall feeling in me. And I was debating whether to get them or not. And so I decided to go ahead and get them. And today I would like to swatch them. And I think I already said that, right? Yeah. So I want to start swatching them right here. And I brought out all the things that I need for this. I have my swatch book, which is 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I am using cut apart Q-tips, which is not, I would not recommend doing this because it's super fiddly. I'm thinking of getting an automatic pen. But I'm not sure. I really want that because why? I don't really want to purchase fountain pen inks. So that's, I don't know. Maybe I will buy it after this video. And then I also have these coloring cards from my ink testing book. I really like testing and swatching inks on different papers because if you are into this, then you know that each pen and each ink often looks really differently on all the different papers. And I don't know which color to start with. I'm just going to go from here to here, no specific order. I just put them there. This is not a shimmering ink, so this set consists of 4 regular inks. Are they sheening inks? I don't know. It doesn't say it. Didn't say anything on it. And then these 2, and I guess that's how they distinguish between them, are shimmering inks, the silver capped ones. So we'll start with the old book smell. And I would say this is a reddish brown. Let's open this and get out the glass dip pen. Yeah, see, this is just not really the greatest. Okay. I like what I see right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch it on all the... Hello, cat. When you jump on the table, it moves my whole thingy, my camera setup and all that. Yep. It's a very... Is it brown? Is it red? It's a brown. And then last but not least, the Tsubame ink. What are they called? Ink collection cards. And I really like the paper that is included in that. I need to do some research, or if you know it, I'm gladly taking your information there. What paper is that? Is that special paper? Can you get that as a writing pad? Like to write notes to people? I would love to know. You know what, Kat? This is not how this is supposed to be. You're supposed to be quiet. So I have started to label these in a specific way, and that's this. So I'm writing the ink name first, which is, I don't remember, Old Book Smell. Then I'm writing the ink company is Robert Oster. And then I'll put Endless Pens. Mica, and I think it's an H and then F-I-N-D-S. All right, so I'm gonna put... I'm not going to specify on the others what this is. It's just going to be on the Tsubame cards. And at one point in this live, I would love to get those into a business card holder. These are business card size. That would be really cool if I could put them in there and then sort them by color maybe. Let's just do it the same way here. I'll just open it up here so I can see. Robert Oster, and that is Warm Book Smell. And then I use this card to write whether I have a bottle or a sample, and if I got the sample from a friend, I will write which friend I got it from. I just feel like that's cool stuff to know and remember. And then, you know what I see here? Blue. I don't know if you see that, but I see that on the Tomoe River paper. When I put these inks into pens, then I will do a more in-depth, let's call it ink exploration. Warm book smell, warm book smell, where I also do a I like that color. I really like it. I do not regret this yet. And then I have an index here. B is for ink bottle, S is for sample. Crossed out is empty or not in my possession anymore. And then J is documented in ink journal. And I'll grab that in a sec and show you. So this is a B for bottle. Alrighty. I have my water cup right here. And then let's just dip it in and clean it. And there's a car coming by and the cat is running to the window. Sorry for the shaky camera. That is usually not how this works. Okay, so I'm done with Old Book Smell. And if I can find the blurb on what, if there is a blurb on what this color is supposed to be. What happened here? Oh my gosh. Do you believe this? What happened? Nothing happened here. I'm glad. Okay. So in my ink journal, when I ink up a pen and I haven't documented the ink in the ink journal, what I'm going to do is I am creating a page like this where I put an ink splotch, the name of the ink, I write. Usually wanted to write, not usually, the original idea was to write with a thin nib and then a broader nib here, but I just couldn't find one. And then I realized I could just dip fountain pens, and I really like longer writing samples so that you can see how the text would look in a paragraph or so. And so this is what I started doing. I have only done this for 3 inks so far. And then I'm doing an ink chromatography. I layer. I have started with my newest one that I actually filmed along, which is Rohrer and Klingner Altgold Grün. I started to write 1, 2, 3 so that I can see how many layers are there. So 1, 2, 3 layers of ink. I wait until it's dry. Now that I have found that if I don't wait, I'm actually going to kill the paper. And then I'm doing a water test. I haven't really, so this is not a very scientific water test. None of this is scientific anyway, because I don't really wait for the same amount of time until I take away the water that I drop on here, but it does give me an idea how water proof or spill proof this is. So here, if there was water damage, then I would be able to maybe recover some of the ink here, the writing here maybe as well, but here I probably wouldn't. And so if I can see that all of the ink is coming off in 2 seconds, then I don't really need to wait for 30 seconds or what happens after. Then I know that this ink just doesn't do well with any kind of water. So I usually swatch the inks just so that I can have an idea on what they look like. This I use to choose the inks that I want to put into my fountain pens. And then when they're in the fountain pens, then I'm looking at them more in depth. Do you have to do this? Not at all. This is just what I do for funsies. This is something that I totally enjoy doing. It's like other people collecting stamps or cooking, whatever. I love doing this, and I'm so glad I actually got back into the fountain pen inks and all of that stuff because it just makes me so happy. The second one is a shimmer ink. So I'm just agitating or getting, if you look at this like that, if I don't shake it up, all of the particles will sit at the bottom and there will be no shimmer included. So we'll have to be really fast and quick. And I can't get this open right now. Okay, let's begin and see how quickly the particles sink down. Alrighty, let's dip it in and start. I think in between the writing and the, can you actually even see? No. In between the writing and the swatching of the ink, I'll go ahead and close the bottle and we can check how quickly it sank down to the bottom. And what I'm going to do is use this as a writing surface because for some reason it felt really hard. I like when there's a soft layer underneath. Okay. And then last but not least, this here. This is done. So here is the question that I have. I have currently still inked, I don't know how many. Oh, yeah, nothing really sank down. I don't think there was a lot of particles at the bottom. So that's nice to know that they're so small and so tiny that they don't fall to the bottom of the bottle as fast. All right, what is this? Robert Oster again. Robert Oster, and this color is called Campfire Crackle See, I'm now that I'm reflecting on what I tell you, I started swatching this Crackle Campfire. I can't even talk and write Campfire. It's not really that big of a deal, I guess. And then this is a bottle as well. Then let's move over here and over here. So I'm just now I'm again writing on the hard wooden surface of the table. Oh well. Robert Oster. Let's try and do this, write this correctly this time. Campfire. I mean, it's really unfair to do this alliteration. Crackle. I mean, I'm destined, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how to pronounce words in English. Notice? Do you notice that? I do. Okay, and here I turned it around. I don't know why I did that, actually, which is really annoying, but I'm gonna stick to the same pattern because that's important. Campfire. I just love how smoothly the glass dip pen glides over this paper, and I really would love to know what paper this is. Is this bank paper, maybe? If you know it, please let me know. I would really love to know. Robert Oster. Endless pens. And oops, I shouldn't. Micahfinds. So if this is not the correct spelling of the Instagram handle of this person, I will put it in the, I will link it in the description box anyway, but you can find the correct spelling and the correct link in the description box below. What I was saying while I'm cleaning this, maybe I can talk now. I currently have 6 of my original 9 fountain pens that I started my currently inked with, still in rotation. Where's my thingy? I need to wait a tiny bit until this is fully dry so I can turn the page. That's why I'm talking to you right now. Also, why don't we chat? Because we love to chat. So this is still full. This one is empty. There is homemade tortillas is in here still. I don't know how much is left in there. Maybe we can check because I can see that this is going to be a very long video. This is half is still left. Okay, doesn't focus. So half of a cartridge is still in there. I have my Kaweco's iridescent pearl. I don't have it here right now, but that is almost empty. Then I have this one. I can't really see how much ink is in there, but I would assume that there's quite a bit in there. This one is the Cicatuna Sandugo. This one I have refilled just recently. There is about half of half of this converter is still full. So if I'm going with, or if I'm continuing with the way I have been doing this, then this is like, this is full. This will stay like that forever. This is the Twisby with diamine inkvent, and the color is Storm. Then I have my Franklin-Christoph. Oh, okay, I'm grabbing it. It's fine. Then I have these two still. Here I showed you this was almost empty. There's like a drop left, so this might be good for half a writing session. Let's just put this in here, and then my Franklin-Christoph still probably has quite a bit in there. I can't see, but yeah, you can't even, if I hold it up to the light, I cannot see through the cartridge, so I would assume that this is almost full still. No, it's not. After a lot of choosing and finding out, I would say it's half an ink cartridge left. So Okay, so let's say that this one is going to be empty soon. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. My idea was to, I would love to see what Chipotle, I have an example of that from Sailor and Tintoreria's collaboration, looks in a pen, and I really am tempted to ink a pen with a true royal blue ink. Maybe something like the Private Reserve, the Electric DC Blue. And so what I'm wondering is, do I empty out all of my pens and fill them with all of the Robert Oster inks, or do I curate my own color palette? I'm torn. I would love to, let's see how the shimmer looks on here. I think is that silver shimmer? Probably, because that would explain why the lid is silver. Gray. Let's check here. I can't really see a lot of sparkle or shimmer in here. There is something, but it's not, there's some here. It's not as visible, or this is sheening. Is there some shimmer inks here? Huh. I do not have any swatches of shimmer inks in here. I cannot compare. But yeah, so would you just use them as a whole set and see what it looks like when I write with this? Or what would you do? I'm curious, because I cannot make up my mind. I'm really tempted to just use those. Especially I wanted to see how these two compared, because I thought the spicy chipotle and this would look very similar, but I think there's more red in this one than in this one. But yeah, just let me know what you think, because I am super curious. Okay, this goes here, and this comes here, and this goes here. And we've been already chatting for way too long, and maybe I should speed up and finish this with some music. I don't know. Let me know if you like them chatty and long, or quick and short fountain pen quickie, or a long and rambly video about fountain pen inks. And there is, because I could just talk about fountain pen inks forever. Why? Because none of my family, and I don't have friends. Did you know that? Yeah, just telling you. I don't have real life friends. Only friends that are here are virtual, and the 2, 3, 4, 5 friends that I have here, I haven't seen since December, because, you know, Omicron and stuff. So I'm kind of, I ran dry talking about my hobbies. I don't have anybody to talk to. So I see more shimmer in this one already. Don't know why. What am I doing wrong? Okay, I'm gonna start right here. B for bottle. This is, I don't know, Stargazing. And there's a lot of ink on this nib. So let's just get some off. Stargazing, Robert Oster, and less pens, and did you buy those? I like this color, but this reminds me of a Diamine Inkpens color, actually. Robert Oster. What's the color again? Stargazing. I can see it right over there. I'm still not. Zing. Yep, like it. This reminds me of Aurora Borealis, which was a favorite. This one. Well, close-ish. And I think there was a color in the Diamine ink vent that had a similar color scheme. Okay, so this is Robert Oster, Stargazing. There's lots of, maybe I just didn't get a lot of shimmering ink, shimmer particles in that, even though I agitated it. Doesn't matter, really. But I have to say, so far, and what I'm seeing, I really like what I'm seeing now. I have to see if I can get some more Q-tips. And for these bottles, when they're still full, the cut down version actually works. Okay, let's continue. This is tea time. See, I was able to actually tell you the name of the ink first. This reminded me of Rohrer and Klingner Altgoldgrün. But you know, and I think the interesting part about this is even if you have Rohrer and Klingner Altgoldgrün, just finding out the differences and similarities of some of those inks when they are close to what you like, and then like getting them and checking them out and seeing, no, this is more yellow and this is more blue or something. And actually this green, olive green, is amazing. Love it. As I said, I just made, well, I need this too. Give me a sec. So one more question. I have lots of questions for you today. I do still have ink samples that I haven't swatched in here yet. Is that something that you would like to see on this channel, or do you want me to sit in my dining room all by myself and do this quietly and in closed quarters? What? I can share, and I can also not share. That totally depends on you and if you like watching this. Okay, Robert Oster. And the color name was again Tea Time. Is this supposed to be matcha? Because my tea usually looks more like dirt water. And I'm totally okay with that. I would probably rather call this, what would I call this? I have no idea. Actually, I have no idea. Tea Time. Robert Oster. Endless Pens. And at micahfinds. An interesting thing would also be to state when exactly I acquired the ink, you know, so that you can see how your taste changes over time. Robert Oster. Tea Time. Yeah, I would say that I like this ink. I would not. I will say, because this is really pretty. And let me check where I put the Rohrer and Klingner. Here. I would have suspected that the Altgoldgrün had more yellow than the Tea Time, but they are very similar, number one. However, this does have more yellow. Okay, wow. I showed it to you perfectly, right? The first time. What do you say? What color is this more yellow? In my eyes it is, but maybe your eyes see something else. Next one. Soft kitty, warm kitty. Also, who could pass upon an ink that is called that? What do you prefer? Sheening inks, shading inks? Wow, this is very light. I wonder how this would look in a fountain pen that is like an extra fine or a needle tip, needle point. That's what it's called. I do like the colors. I can see reds and blues in here. Curious to see what what's that called? The thing, the chromatography of that looks like again. Okay. Almost last ink. Okay, dip it in and write, what was it called again? Oh my gosh, my brain, people. Soft kitty. Warm kitty. Robert Oster. Endless pens. I do like grays a lot. I think they're a really nice alternative neutral color to black. Let me see if I can spell this correctly, or the way I think it is spelled correctly. Bottle, correct. What I find interesting here is that there is more red than here. That's what I find interesting. Just if you wanted to know. Maybe you want to know, maybe you don't. But if you didn't want to know, then the question would be, would you still be here at this point in the video? Because she has been talking a lot of stuff, like the BS kind of stuff, all through this video, and you haven't turned it off yet. So the question also would be, what would she have to say in order to make you skip ahead to the next video in your watch later list? I have not drunk any alcohol. I had, how many shots of espresso did I have today? 2, 4, not a lot. If you consider that maybe the reason why I'm this weird today is because I have gotten up at 5. No, not 5. I started working at 5. So I got up at 4:20. Oh, guess what? I have a funny story. What the heck did she just do? Okay, let's watch this and then go back later. So, I woke up at 4, I like this color, a.m. this morning, like sat up in bed and was like, oh my God, did I actually set my alarm? And I hadn't. And then I frantically started thinking, okay, so what time was I supposed to start working? Is there still enough time for me to get there on time? And then I quickly did the math, which I actually am really good at math, just if you wanted to know, and found out that I still had 20 minutes left until I had to get up so that I could be at work at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then I just like waited for the alarm to go off. And then I started working at 5. So, did I say the color name? No. Coffee date. Oh, we are talking about coffee. And I talked about espresso shots. Isn't that a coincidence? Robert Oster. And if you know me, then you also know that I work at a coffee shop chain. Isn't that a cool name for that? If you can read what is on here, then you actually know what it is. It just turned 50 in 2021. Coffee date. Coffee date. And this one reminded me of the other Sailor Tintoria's collaboration ink called Homemade Tortillas, and I also have a sample of that one that I can show you. But that's what my day started out like. No, Simone, this is not the correct grammar at all. Let's try this again. This is how my day started out, with a realization that I did not set the alarm timer, wouldn't help, but that I would still make it to work on time, that I actually had 20 minutes more left, more to sleep, and that was really brilliant. Robert Oster, Endless Pens at micahfinds, and there's a B. I think I'm done with this now, so I'm going to wash my glass dip pen, which I have decided, another random information that you do not need to know, but I'm telling you anyway. I have decided that I'm going with the cheap glass dip pens from our, nope, that's not the right. Okay, she should stop this video. She is me. I should stop this video. I'm starting to be really weird. I have decided to go with the big online retailer and just get the cheapo glass dip pens in the 3-pack, because I am not very gentle with anything that I use. And so, Robert Oster, Soft Kitty. I remember the name. Did you notice? Kitty, Warm Kitty, and then that noodle, and I don't even know why I do this, because I saw Mystery do that, and so now I do that too. So Mystery, if you're watching, let me know why I do this, because I don't know. Yeah, there's all the inks. Let's recap and let's look at Homemade Tortillas so that we can see if it's close match or not. Maybe I can find it in here. And if I stopped talking about something in the middle of the sentence, then you should know by now that that's just how I roll. I have no idea why that happens to me, because I start thinking about something else. So I see. I don't know if you see, because the camera is really good, but it still often doesn't capture the colors as nicely and as real as they should be. I see that they, at first glance, they look alike. However, there is more, I guess, red. There's a more pinkish tint in the lighter color here, and there's more yellow in here. So I would assume that either there's no red or a lot less red in there, in this ink, than it is in this one. Do I still like this? Of course. I think, well, yeah. This one looks more very much like wheat homemade tortillas. I mean, what are they made from? Corn or wheat? Yeah, this has more pink in it than this one. Let's see if we can find this swatch that I made in here. Wow, same, yeah, here you can see the difference on the Tomoe River paper. Okay, let me know what you think about these inks. Did you purchase them? I have never spent so much money on ink at the same time before in my life. And I don't know if I can ever recover from that shock. But I think they're all worth it. They are exactly the colors that I really love and gravitate towards. And I'm glad I have ink bottles of those and not just samples. I do think that I'm not going to purchase a lot of bottled ink in the future, because part of the fun of using a lot of colored inks is using all the different inks. And so I can get one or two fills of a fountain pen and then move on to another one. And yeah, I really try to have that mindset that it doesn't really matter if it's out of stock, if it's not going to be made again, if this is the only thing that I can use. It's fine. There will be other inks that are very similar, as we can clearly see right here. And what other ink was there? This one and this one. Yes, they are not the same, but does it really matter? Look at Manu Ume. That's interesting. This looks very similar. And I do have Manu Ume in here, so I'm curious to see how that compares to that. So as I said, there are always inks that look so similar, and if I'm not getting this one, then I'm just getting a sample of another ink, right? How do you do that? Do you keep buying ink bottles for the rest of your life and the 5-10 generations after you, or are you more on the sample train as I am? I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you think about these inks and all the other things you want to tell me about your fountain pen addiction. Maybe not addiction, your fountain pen hobby, what you enjoy about it, what you don't. You can clearly hear that I can talk about this for hours, and I love doing that, and that's why I filmed this video. I hope to see you soon. Until the next time, bye. And since I talked a ton today, I think I should mention that I have a Kofi page where you can tip me if you enjoy these videos. There's a link in the description box down below. Check it out. I am also offering tiers. There's 2 memberships at the moment, the Believer tier and the Companion tier. Yeah, I would love for you to follow me and join me over there. I'm doing more artsy stuff over there, but still, you can also still tip me if you would like. And, you know, this is expensive. Just saying. Goodbye.